Well, this is Krista here with you again today. And so I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of a video today about just anything that really comes up basically on the stuff I've been working on lately. You know, oftentimes I talk about narcissism on here, narcissistic abuse. Sometimes it's hard to keep up the videos because it's basically just like if you keep on focusing on something over and over again, like all the time, every day, it can really kind of bring more things like that into your life. And sometimes it just can really get a person down, you know, and in that depressed fear mode or whatever, and keep us down. And we're at that level where we don't want to be, where we need to rise above that, go on with our lives, and really just start seeking things that are more satisfying, and learning more ways to be satisfied, besides you know, just putting a band-aid on whatever it is, and just doing the healing process that works for that. and then just, you know, where you, as you leave the first phase where you do learn and learn and learn, and you're always learning all you can about the narcissist and the motives on what to do, you know, and how to leave and everything like that. Once you do get to a place where you're finally at safety, and you're able to start focusing on yourself more, and really you get out of that place of not only being the victim, and also the surviving, you know, where you're just living from day to day and wondering what you're going to do next, and just getting everything done that you need to do. And then you might get to a place where all of a sudden everything is done, and you know, you made preparations to move on with your life, and you've done all that, and all of a sudden you're at a place where just there's nothing really left to do. You know, you've got that job or whatever. You're learning how to handle life and situations on an easier level. You're connecting to your spirit, connecting to source within you, and therefore creating more of a calm, peaceful state around you. I've been learning so much. It seems to be driven at me lately from all angles. That I do need to keep practicing my meditation and being in that place where I can, and like I was listening to Melanie Tanya Evans last night, something that she had sent out, and it was, again, it was so critical. It just felt like it was coming at me like critical information, because lately I have been having a hard time again at work, just with the people, having a hard time even in my support groups and stuff, and just people all in general, even like when I go out to the gas station or just go out, you know, in public. It's hard because a lot of times we are left in these states of CPTSD, but I'm talking even about going beyond CPTSD, and levels not just coping, like with the DBT, dialectical behavioral, where, you know, you practice peaceful things, although those are all meditations again. Just ways of calming and relaxing with breath work and things like that. Practicing hobbies and interest that really can really put you more in that peaceful, calm, alpha state, where you can actually rise above, where you can get to a point where nothing really no longer bothers you, and it just brings this source of, okay, everything is actually fine. Being in that place more and more and more. I know for me right now, it's kind of like just every great once in a while I'll feel like that. But as I know that as I practice it more, that feeling will come more. That feeling of contentment, that feeling that I am at one with the world, and nothing is going to get in the way, nothing is going to bother me, because I am who I am and I'm living my life, and just practicing that state of being, of awareness, working on my own control dramas, learning maybe the state that that other people's control dramas has important to you up to this point as well, because you know, obviously you know that there's a lot of dysfunction in the world today, but that is something that we are still just beginning to conquer in this new millennium, where we are really kind of beginning to break out of the box more. And we are, you know, after working a day's work, and we finally have that home that we wanted, and we're just paying the monotonous bills every day, and every day feels the same, although it's almost as if you want to create something in your life that gives it more meaning and value. And as we begin to delve further within ourselves and we really start beginning that search for, as we sit back, you know, and our learning becomes greater as we watch these different TV shows we might be interested in watching, or we run into this or that person that we've been thinking about a topic for a certain amount of time, and all of a sudden they have more information on that topic, and you gather information between the both of you. That can happen watching TV shows, or, you know, a movie, a book, you know, just whatever, people in passing during the day. Information can come to us just when we need it, when we really start bringing more synchronicity into our lives, and things start flowing, and coincidences like that start happening more as we can tap into that. And we can also practice with other people and teach other people how to do it at the same time. And there's just really more of an ease into it, to where you're really not trying to do it, but as you practice these within yourself, it just automatically starts flowing around you. I know getting people to communicate isn't always that easy, but again, as James Redfield said before, one of my favorite authors, is that new opportunities can grow and come more at a faster level. As maybe we make eye contact with somebody in that room. Maybe take the time to go over and talk to them, and it doesn't have to be awkward when you can just say, hey, you know, it sure is a beautiful day today, or just start some kind of just a basic intro, just la la la, you know, talk where, you know, you're just talking about things, and then all of a sudden what's on your mind comes up. Whatever floats to the surface, you know. It's amazing how our intuition can really flow out of us naturally. But like I said, you know, when we can start practicing peacefulness within and without ourselves, creating better diets for ourselves so we can tap in more clear to this inner energy, and as our bodies begin healing on a faster rate with better food and diet and things, better exercise, maybe with flowing, you know, movements of Tai Chi, or, you know, the yoga and all that, you know, just letting it flow. Stand up and stand on your tiptoes today. Put your hands high in the air over your head and stretch. And thank the sun for being there, you know, thank the day, the wonderful, beautiful energy of the day, and how you can tap into the enjoyment of just being a part of the world. And that is just such a satisfying, starting to be grateful for things around you and the things that you do love and enjoy. You know, this is just such a fulfilling thing to do, you know, and it's just our natural urge to be healthy and at whole and at one with the universe. Amen. So, just kidding a little bit around there. I know that what Melanie was saying last night was that sometimes it even disturbs me lately as I do my work and things, when I run into certain individuals, how some people can be so nice, and then others can be just so harder to deal with. And how it just really people can be so hurtful, you know, even those narcissists, those non-compliant people, or those people that seem to be haters or, you know, selfish, or just whatever their bags of chips are that they might not have healed inside of themselves. Maybe that's bringing up parts of ourselves. When it upsets us, it's actually triggering negative things of ours that are coming up. And these are actually more possibly like mirrors of ourselves. And I hear a lot teaching about how like attracts like, you know, we really do attract more things, you know, that we might have to have lessons from and heal. So, and a lot of times those can be people. And there's no way of avoiding people altogether, unfortunately, unless you're a hermit in the woods. And, you know, I mean, if that's your thing, you know, go do it. But if it's not, I mean, most of us have to deal with the real world here. And that we all need to come together in harmony and peace and love for one another. And start treating each other with more of a respect that is wholesome. And when we really can begin to use that agape love for one another, where we can almost feel and gravitate towards another person with that unconditional love and forgiveness and non-judgment. And what's amazing about that is people reciprocate a lot of times when we put out a positive vibe. If we put out an angry vibe, that's basically what the universe and the people around us are going to give back to us, because that's what we're seeing the world to be. You know, that's what our view of things are. As I was listening to Abraham Hicks this morning, great dude, and Woman's Body, Esther Hicks. If you've never listened to him, he's amazing. They've got a lot of YouTube videos online where a woman medium speaker comes out and connects with a higher divine source, possibly angelic, with just a lot of great advice to give to people. Talks a lot about the vortex, being in the flow, staying in the flow, where that God force really does not come outside of ourselves, but it comes from within instead. And when we really connect to that, how amazing and powerful that force can really be. And when we start using it outside of ourselves, when we start using it out there in the world, how really positively effective, like the magic can really start happening, and things can start happening that you really start to take a notice. And you know, a lot of people don't understand it yet, but we are coming to that, you know, millennium where our awakening is really just beginning. And sometimes I get impatient and think, well, why is that person so close-minded? Why is that church so close-minded, or whatever? But really, you know, people are awakening in all different parts of life, in all different sorts of centers and areas and things. And even if we feel all alone and like nobody around us understands, like sometimes I can still feel that. What Melanie was describing last night was that when we start healing that part of us, that might really be truly creating that bad day that we're going out and creating for ourselves, whatever that may be in the situations that we're going towards, into, and choosing, that we really can understand that when we do start meditating, and when you start, just by closing your eyes, maybe doing a visualization, a guided one, or just connecting to this inner divine source, where you can really start connecting and healing those emotions and maybe those old traumas that we still need to resolve and heal before we can continue and start drawing, where we can start drawing more positive things into our lives, and we stop triggering to everybody's crap out there, and we start being okay with them having their own thing, but not being affected by that, and that we can just go on and just be like, I've gotten over that, I've healed that part of myself, and what it starts attracting is even bigger things to propel you forward into more higher learning, toward your higher purpose, whatever that may be. And remember, don't be so hard on yourself with the I can'ts. Like, maybe if you want to do a lot of things with your life, you want to be a musician, you want to be an artist, but you have like a tech job or something, and you do that job every day, but you have these other things that you would love to do and you're really good at, but you feel like you might not be able to make money at it or do anything with that in your life. And you're just giving yourself an I can't to all these other things that you might want to do and accomplish that might be more fulfilling, and you want to share with the world. So just when you say, oh, I can, and then you can't, and then you just keep repeating that over and over again in your head, and you're always fighting with yourself that you can't. When you finally come to that point and keep practicing and telling yourself, okay, can't, quit fighting with my mind, and just accepting that you can, and stop, and just start to really stop that I can't, not with forcing it, like, just basically just giving that love to yourself and saying, hey, I can't in my head, I love you, but you really can stop now, because I don't need to hear that voice anymore, and I can accept that you're afraid and all these things, and that you're an excuse, because of, all these different excuses that might come up, that you can still be like, but I really can, and just, you can stay more in that frame of mind, and that really can bring you more of a trust with your inner self and your inner guidance. And so yeah, I'm really kind of off more of the topic of the heavy narcissistic stuff today, because we do still need to jump ahead. We can't stay stuck there. We need to come out of that, and the more healing that we do in ourselves, the more we're not going to even desire to be around those types of people or situations anymore. And we can really, really do growth work. Be proud of yourself where you are today. And just keep watching as you go out and as you become aware, and watch how things, maybe things might start changing for you in small ways into bigger ways. And really give yourself a pat on the back and reward yourself each time this happens, because you're really doing a great job. Give yourself some credit. Thank you for listening, and have a great one.